2090, the year money disappeared. Intro. Narrator. On the morning of June 17, 2090, 19-year-old Ethan Walker walked into a coffee shop in Chicago. He ordered a coffee. The barista handed it to him. Ethan smiled and walked away. No cash. No credit card. No phone payment. No subscription. Nothing. Not because he forgot to pay, but because in 2090, there was nothing to pay with. Money no longer existed. No dollars. No banks. No salaries. No billionaires. No poverty. At least, not in the way we understand those words today. But if nobody earned money, why did anyone work? If everything was free, who produced it? And if money disappeared, what replaced it? This is the story of how humanity reached a future that once seemed impossible. The year money became obsolete. Backhand index pointing right. Chapter 1, The Last Paycheck. For centuries, money was the foundation of civilization. People traded their time for income. Income paid for food. Food kept people alive. The system wasn't perfect, but it worked. Then something happened. Artificial intelligence became smarter than expected. Not just smarter than humans in specific tasks. Smarter at almost everything. By the 2050s, AI systems could manage companies, design products, write software, diagnose diseases, and even conduct scientific research. At the same time, robots became cheaper than human labor. Factories ran 24 hours a day. Construction sites operated with almost no workers. Autonomous vehicles replaced drivers. AI assistants replaced millions of office jobs. At first, people thought new jobs would appear, just like previous technological revolutions. But this time was different. The machines weren't replacing one profession. They were replacing almost all professions. Chapter 2, America's Crisis. The United States entered what historians would later call the employment collapse. Millions lost jobs. Then tens of millions. The economy faced a question nobody had ever seriously answered. If machines create nearly all value, why do humans need salaries? Governments tried temporary solutions. Tax breaks. Stimulus programs. Retraining initiatives. But the trend continued. Machines kept getting better. Humans couldn't compete. Eventually, economists realized something uncomfortable. The problem wasn't a lack of resources. The problem was the way resources were distributed. Society could produce more than enough food, housing, healthcare, and energy. The issue was access. People still needed money to obtain things that machines could produce almost for free. And that contradiction became impossible to ignore. Backhand index pointing right. Chapter 3, The Great Transition. In the 2060s, several countries began experimenting with a radically different system. Instead of paying people to survive, survival became guaranteed. Every citizen received housing, healthcare, education, food, transportation, internet access. Not as charity. Not as welfare. As a basic right. Critics predicted disaster. They said people would become. Chapter 4, The Day the Dollar Died. The final step happened slowly. Then all at once. By 2080, most essential goods had nearly zero production cost. Solar energy was abundant. Robotic agriculture produced food efficiently. Automated manufacturing supplied consumer goods. AI managed logistics better than any corporation ever had. Traditional prices became meaningless. Why charge people for something that could be produced endlessly at almost no cost? Banks began shrinking. Financial markets became less relevant. Currencies lost importance. And in 2087, The United States officially retired the dollar as the primary medium of exchange. A decision that would have sounded insane just decades earlier. The world watched in disbelief. Yet everyday life barely changed. People still ate, traveled, learned, created. The only thing missing was the payment. Backhand index pointing right. Chapter 5, Ethan's World. Ethan belonged to the first generation born after money. To him, the concept seemed strange. One evening, his grandfather showed him an old $20 bill. Ethan stared at it. "You used paper to get food?" he asked. His grandfather laughed. "Not exactly." "Then why did you need it?" The old man paused. Because he wasn't sure how to explain it. How do you explain money to someone who has never needed it?